Hey, it's Cassie from Curry Honda in Chicopee. You're listening to the Bax and Nagle podcast on Rock 102. Come see us at Curry Honda for the best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. Experience the best at Curry Honda. Thanks for listening.
It's 5:51 and Led Zeppelin with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It's going to be a mix of sun and clouds today with a high of 80. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 75. It is 67 right now in downtown Springfield.
Hollywood Trash is brought to you by Western Mass Masons. Call them for all your foundation and chimney needs.
Somehow you still care about what's happening in Hollywood. So, from Tinseltown, 3,000 miles away, it's Steve Nagle's Hollywood Trash.
And some sad news over the weekend. Jerry Adler from The Sopranos, he passed away. Hesh. He was 96 years old, and he was one of those actors that I was reading about. He didn't start this acting thing until much later in his life, which is kind of weird.
Feel like if one of us decided to go into acting at this part in our career.
Well, we are. I mean, we're blended everywhere now, and we're acting out all kinds of stupid scenarios.
Well, I don't know about that, Steve. You saw about the parking situation over here, right?
Yes, actually, I have some insight to that. We can get into a little bit later if
Good.
you want. But anyway, Jerry Adler passed away. I don't know what he died of. He was 96 years old. It's a shame when they go so young.
I'm going to guess the cause of death was that he was 96 years old.
I don't know about that. Madonna is reportedly cooling it with the more intense cosmetic procedures because her 29-year-old boyfriend loves her just the way he is. Is he blind?
He must have. I loved her just the way she used to be many years ago.
She just turned 67. Yeah.
Yeah, well, she's a material grandma now.
I don't know. You know who I went and saw on Saturday night?
Who?
Howie Mandel and Brad Garrett at Mohegan.
Really?
Probably one of the funniest comedy shows I've been to in a long time. Other than my own, you know.
Really?
But yeah.
Is Howie suddenly doing material again?
It was really good. I can't emphasize. Here's the thing, and he kind of addresses this in the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
That here's things you can't say on network television, and then he's like, but I can say everything I want here, and he kind of just goes into the old dirty stuff that he used to do, and even Brad Garrett was very good. It was a good show.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Garrett's not bad. I always thought Garrett was not actually a halfway decent comic.
No, but you know what? A lot of people walked out.
Really?
Yeah, and because of his, I think there's a combination. He did. We can talk more about this a little bit later on, but he did some material that I think people. Well, that's not the guy that was on. Everybody.
That's not Robert the Cop.
You know, it's more of a conversation for another thing because I want to talk about how people get offended by things that shouldn't be offended by.
Sounds good.
Anyway, a guy on TikTok estimated that Jeffrey Dean Morgan pleasures himself 20 times a week. Jeffrey refused to confirm or deny that number, but said that's a heavy workload for anybody.
I would think he'd probably tear a rotator cuff or get some carpal tunnel syndrome or something.
Yeah.
Maybe some tennis elbow.
Yeah. This is the headline. It starts out, have you ever wondered how many times your favorite celebrity pleasures himself? No, I haven't.
I always had a suspicion about Yul Brynner.
Oh, well, that's, what is it, shaking hands with Yul Brynner? Is that what it is?
That's right.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, he calls... The guy on TikTok who claims he can figure all this out, he calls this service the Jacket Report and claims he can tell how many times people go at themselves by looking at their hands. What do you think? What do you think? I'm holding up my hand now.
You got very powerful looking hands.
I got a couple of calluses there. I don't know.
Held up you got one very powerful looking hand.
Yeah, which one is it?
The one with a kung fu grip.
That's right. The death grip, they call it.
So, like the Baron von Raschke claw.
So his latest report was on Jeffrey Dean Morgan from The Walking Dead. He noted the inflamed thumb knuckle and calluses on his right hand and estimated that he pleasures himself 20 times a week. Well, Jeffrey sees the video after his wife, Hillary Burton from One Tree Hill, sent it to him. Can you imagine that? Like that's your celebrity night out. Your wife stumbles across the video about how many times you pleasure yourself. But she could barely type a message to him because she was laughing so hard. As for Jeffrey's response, he refused to confirm or deny the accuracy of the report.
And he couldn't type a response because his hands are all cramped.
Yeah. He said it's a heavy workload for anyone, much less an old guy who's married to a smoking hot younger lady and either on set being a dad or a farmer. 20? Cheers to me. Bravo, dude. We do appreciate a good laugh even if it's at my expense. Keep up the solid research. That's some good stuff.
That is good research.
Yeah. Let's see. One of the there's still no word on the cast for season 51 of SNL, but Lorne Michaels says we can expect a pretty big shakeup, particularly because they couldn't do it last year. There couldn't be those kinds of disruptions or anything that was going to take the focus off the 50th season, and we had an election going on. He says the new cast will be announced in a week or so. Only one cast member is confirmed to return for the upcoming season, and you're not going to believe this, but it's not Kenan Thompson.
How many seasons has Keenan done?
Probably
20?
12?
I think it's more than that.
You think so?
Yeah.
It's James Austin Johnson who plays President Trump. Kind of a no-brainer if you think about it. Keenan's probably not going anywhere, though.
Let's see. I'm curious how many years he's been on because it's been like forever.
Yeah,
22 seasons.
22 seasons.
22
wow,
seasons.
That's a long time. Well, maybe we can make it 23.
Most people don't last more than 3. Yeah. He's gone 22 and about maybe 23.
Well, he's clearly a favorite of somebody.
Hard not to like the guy.
The Coldplay Jumbotron controversy is the gift that keeps on giving. During a show on Friday at Wembley Stadium, Chris Martin noticed a guy holding a sign that said he wanted to propose to his girlfriend, so of course he decided to have fun with it. He says, okay, now listen, my brother, I need you to nod as I do some basic security checks, okay? Is this person your actual partner? You know what? Coldplay has had a renaissance because of this stupid, these two people that were at the thing. What a great marketing tool to keep using.
Oh, sure.
You were the band that outed these two idiots that went to the Coldplay concert thinking, hey, let's spend all our bougie money and pretend like nobody could ever notice us.
Yeah, Coldplay is the Dave Matthews for infidelity.
Yeah, they are.
The Dave Matthews Band for cheating couples.
Well,
they're not there for the music.
Are you sure?
Nobody goes there for the music.
Yeah, but is Coldplay comparable to Dave Matthews? I mean, is there like a bunch of people running around to concert after concert after concert? I saw Coldplay 12 times this year.
That would not be something I'd be bragging about.
You don't think so?
For Coldplay? No.
I had this Kim Kardashian thing here, and then now I got to go check my email to make sure it's there. Kim Kardashian's sparked a frenzy in a sheer mesh cat suit during the Skims promo shoot.
Really?
That she recently did.
Well, she must have had something to say.
Oh, my God. The last time I had the most see-through outfit, Ray J snuck his gospel pipe into my velvet Vesuvio back when the cameras weren't rolling in that sex tape being purchased on YouPorn for $39.95.
Caitlin?
Well, I never got that done and dirty with your mother, Chris Kim, but we once had a quiet weekend indoors with a stack of VHS tapes and some vinyl. First on the VCR was The Fast and the Furious. Next, we rewound The Nutting Professor.
What else did you do?
You ever see The Nutting Professor?
No.
We finished strong with Harry Plopper and the Sorcerer's Bone. And after that marathon, we wiped down the furniture polish and spun some tunes. We got groovy with the legendary band Wham and Cheese. You into Wham and Cheese, Bax? Because sometimes you got to wake me up before you gloop gloop. Jitterbug. And that's your Hollywood trash at Rock 102. Ah!
Pro Country.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock at 6:11, and Def Leppard with Bax and Nagle at Rock 102.
It is going to be a mix of sun and clouds today with a high of 80. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 75. It is 67 right now in downtown Springfield. Well, we're back.
I never went away, but I got to tell you, last week, if I could make a living just pressing buttons, I would do it. It's so simple.
Yeah, it's simple, but it's kind of boring after a while.
I got a lot of work done. I watched a lot of very important videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
I caught up with some of my stories. It was a great week.
No, you had a good week. My week wasn't too bad. We left here. We left Western Mass on Friday night late. I usually like driving through the night kind of thing, and we drove all the way down to the Outer Banks in North Carolina.
Sure.
And we were there for a couple of days. Actually met up with Dan Williams, of all people.
I saw that.
Who's also down in the area.
You had lunch together.
We did. So I just want to emphasize again that we were not on vacation together. We just happened to be on vacation at the same time near the same place.
Listen, if that's what you want to let people think, then go right ahead. I mean, the fact that you guys are spending more and more time together, frolicking on the beaches of another state, somewhere where no one around here could identify the two of you, that's really your business, and I'm not going to make any judgments or pass any kind of rumor mongering out notes. That's not my job to do.
It's okay. You can think whatever you want. We know what we have is special. That's what it comes down to.
See, as long as you two are on the same page, that's all that matters.
But that was fun, and then obviously there was all these warnings coming over for this Hurricane Erin that came up the coast, and I had never experienced those things the alerts that come across your phone.
Oh yeah,
I've heard them maybe once or twice in my life. I've never heard them 5 times. And it was basically saying, first of all, I realized how big the Outer Banks is.
It's enormous.
It's like 150 miles long.
Yes.
There was a certain portion of it. We had actually gone there the day before the warning. There's a lighthouse down in this area, this Cape Hatteras.
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying, like, you got to evacuate this particular area because that portion of land is so thin between the bay and the ocean that the water's going to come over and flood everybody out, and you need to evacuate.
And those roads that go to the beach down there get washed out nearly at every storm.
Right.
So you got to move.
That's on that portion of it. Where we were in Kill Devil Hills, there wasn't that threat. But something told me, like, I need to get out of here. There's nothing. You really couldn't go in the ocean for the couple of days before the storm, and from what I found out, you couldn't go after the storm either.
Yeah.
Because the rip tides were so strong. It was a double red flag day every day almost. There was only one day where it was like a yellow flag day. That was like a couple of days before the storm came up.
Did you notice, and I'm sure this happened because this happens at every single time you have these kinds of warnings, loads of people ignored that completely.
Yeah.
And went in the water anyway.
And I don't think that's a smart thing to do. I really don't. And I was getting a little pushback from some people that I was talking to, because there was like a whole group of people that we go with.
Right.
And I was getting a little bit of pushback of like, I can't believe you're leaving. You're leaving. And I'm like, first of all, 20 years ago this week, Hurricane Katrina was supposed to stay in the Gulf of Mexico. And everybody was like, oh, this Hurricane Erin, this is coming up the coast. It's going to stay out to sea. I don't really trust that.
It's only going to be a Category 3 by the time it hits land.
And my reasoning was, first of all, if I didn't have children and I was by myself, I probably would have stayed. I probably would have stayed and said, whatever. But I have 2 other humans I got to worry about. And the safety of them and making sure that, who knows where this thing will go. Good. I'm glad it didn't do any significant damage. But there's always that chance, and I wasn't going to take that chance and being stuck on an island in a house without any power and all this other stuff.
Well, you and I were saying off the air, and it's absolutely true. I mean, these things, there are predictable parts to these kinds of storms, but oftentimes these things will change course.
Yeah.
And you don't know. And the people of Katrina, they think, well, it's not going to be that bad.
And then it slammed into New Orleans.
There's no reason we should heed these warnings of emergency evacuations. We'll just stay right here and wait for the Superdome to open.
Yes. That's kind of how I didn't want to have to learn how to survive. I didn't want to have to, figure out how to get my boating skills down by trying to get rescued by a roof rescue, helicopter roof rescue.
Well, I mean, because I've been to Ocracoke Island. I saw the video that Dan had done, and he was absolutely right. So Ocracoke Island is an island off the Outer Banks, and the only way on or off the island is by ferry.
Right.
And I think there's only maybe 2 ferries that run at any one given time. So imagine you're trying desperately to get off this island to very rocky waters to get onto to dry land so you can continue to evacuate. That's nothing I really am all that interested in.
Yes, I wasn't interested in trying to be a survivalist.
No.
My survival skills included me getting back in my car and leaving. That was the survival skill.
Very smart approach.
The good thing is there was hardly any traffic. We left on Wednesday because it was Wednesday night that the storm was supposed to hit the coast,
right.
which it did, and then it was raining, and then you couldn't even go on the beach anyway for the next couple of – you could go on the beach, but you couldn't go in the water because the riptide was so heavy. To me, that's not enjoyable. To me, enjoyable is sitting on the beach – being able to go walk in the water when you want to, kind of thing, and then going home for the day at the end of the day. There wasn't going to be none of that.
You saw effects of that all the way up,
right?
All the way up to New England. So this weekend we were in New Hampshire on Hampton Beach, the not seedy side. Anyway, they had red flag warnings, and there were still people out there swimming. Over the last 7 days, 114 people were picked out of riptides.
Yeah.
In New Hampshire. You imagine what it must have been like with these idiots swimming in North Carolina, where you have a much better chance of having a direct hit.
People are dumb. They really are. And they want to, I don't know what the deal is that they want to feel like, I'm going to go in the water on it.
The deniability of natural disasters.
Right.
I think after suffering from a tornado, a microburst, an ice storm, and an earthquake all in the same year, just around here, heightens me a little bit when it comes to storms and natural disasters.
And one of my points was last year, look at all the damage they had in North Carolina, in the mountains and all those areas. That wasn't from a direct hit of a hurricane. That was the aftermath. Yeah. And that's what you got to worry about. It's not always the actual storm that's 400 miles off the coast still causing major riptides. It's what comes behind it, because then you got low pressure systems that could cause tornadoes, there's flooding, there's all kinds of things. And I don't know if you know this, but the Outer Banks is separated from the mainland, and you would be stuck out there. I didn't want to have anything to do with that.
Yeah, so I understand.
So I left. And I actually we stayed overnight at a casino.
Kids must have loved it.
It was the cheapest thing around. When you do a last minute hotel deal, you can actually get a pretty good rate on hotels.
Sometimes because they just want to fill the rooms.
Right. Yeah. So for $89 a room, I got 2 rooms at the Bally's in Dover, Delaware.
$89. What is it, like a red roof type of
hotel? It was a Bally's. It was the Bally's, the casino hotel.
Wow.
And it was right there at Dover Downs. Dover Downs is right there. I didn't do any gambling. I really just went there.
Yeah, you did. You stayed at the Dover Downs.
Yeah, well, it wasn't. It was actually a pretty nice hotel, and it was sufficient enough. And I think that maybe I'll start doing that, like staying overnight and doing the trip in 2 days versus 1, because You drive for 5 or 6 hours. That's enough for the day.
Yeah.
And then I can do the rest on the following day.
I think it makes a lot of sense. That's what I used to do. When I used to have to drive halfway across the country, we'd stay in Cleveland and then finish the next day.
Yeah, you're better off just doing that, and you're not falling asleep at the wheel, because that can get hypnotizing too. But I don't know what I did with the directions with the GPS. I put in the casino, figuring, okay, well, I'm starting here, and then I can finish here at the casino. And the GPS took me like on these backcountry roads. I don't know if I had a different setting on it.
You probably had settings like no tolls or some nonsense like that.
But it was welcomed. It was very welcomed. I didn't realize how nice the state of Maryland is.
Sure it is. It's a beautiful state.
I had no idea, because when I think Maryland, I'm thinking the D.C. area. That's what I think.
Or Baltimore.
Right.
Yeah.
But the rest of the state, the farmland out there, it's absolutely beautiful. And I had one of the most enjoyable rides going to Dover through these, you had to pay attention, because it was like in 3.6 miles, turn right, and in 7.8 miles, turn left. But it took you through all these little towns that I would have never even known existed when you're off of that Route 113 down there.
Plus, you were kept awake because you had turns and stops and all that other stuff.
Right, and then on the next day when we got passed over, we drove through New Jersey. I took my kids to where I grew up in the house that I grew up, show them where Dad was, and we had some ice cream at my favorite ice cream place, the Denville Dairy.
Uh-huh.
And actually got to talk to the guy who lives in the house now.
Shut up.
Yeah.
You just walk right up to the door and say, hey, I used to live here.
I had to tell the guy, I don't mean to freak you out, because I was outside taking pictures.
Yeah.
When somebody's outside taking pictures of your house, that's a little suspect.
Yeah.
So and the guy, he comes out, and he was like leaving for work. And I said, hey, I don't mean to freak you out, but I actually used to live in this house. And he was like, get out of here. And then we talked about it, because there was a secret room that was found in the house when my parents bought it.
Really?
Yeah, it was a brand new house back in 1970.
What happened in that room, Sybil?
Yeah, right. But when my dad had a fireplace installed, and the guy came to put the fireplace in, and he told my dad, hey, there's this secret room down here that was closed up. It was supposed to be, I guess, originally the garage.
Uh-huh.
But it was
never finished?
Well, somebody changed the design of the house, and the garage was moved to the front. It was supposed to be like one of those right around the side of the house underneath the garage kind of thing. So we had a nice little discussion. We exchanged numbers.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, he's like, I wish I had known you were coming, because he was on his way to work. And
I wish someone had told me a random stranger with a camera was going to show up.
And I said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, freak you out, because it is kind of weird when somebody's taking pictures of that. But anyway, I did that, and then we were home Thursday afternoon.
Yeah, see, that sounds like a perfectly great vacation.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back.
Oh, thanks.
It's 6:24. We're Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It's almost time to start it.
We're Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Liam, I believe, has the forecast for you.
Could be somebody else. Who knows?
I don't remember who it was when I put it together.
An hour ago.
Well, I mean, I don't pay attention to everything around here.
Hey, this week on Baxy's Musical Podcast, my guest is the band is bass player Craig Fort from the band Leaf Blower. They are known as Midwestern Yardcore.
What?
I swear to God,
Yardcore.
It's being described as craft work with lawn equipment. Anyway, it is better than it sounds. And their first debut album is out, called Burn Cruise. It's actually really interesting. It's a really cool story. You can hear it on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, the Rock 102 YouTube channel, and on rock102.com. It's all brought to you by Metro Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. It should be in Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
Is it using yard tools as instruments?
No, actually, I think they all at one point had been landscapers.
Oh, okay.
And just, because you got to call yourself something. And I think they said, well, let's call ourselves Yardcore.
Is there is their logo a trailer with a lone cone on the outside of it blocking traffic both ways?
Actually, they've got this incredibly elaborate logo. They're actually a very visual band. It's pretty cool, actually.
Well, how are we supposed to work if we don't have the cone out in front of the trailer blocking traffic both ways?
They put the cones out on stage, so everyone has to sit back a good 6 feet from the stage.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. You want to laugh?
I do.
All right, let's laugh.
It's Bax and Nagle's joke
of
the day.
Guy's
I'm
voice
funny
is the
how?
same.
I'm funny like I'm a clown. I amuse you.
On Rock 102,
I make you laugh.
Springfield's classic rock.
What happened to the other guy?
He's coming.
Are you sure?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Anyway, a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old are in their bedroom. And let me tell you, kids say the darndest things, don't they?
They sure do.
And then the 7-year-old says, you know what? I think it's time we started swearing. And the 4-year-old's like, all right. So when we go downstairs for breakfast, I'll swear first, then you, says the 4-year-old, right? The 4-year-old's like, okay. And they make their way downstairs, and the mother asks the 7-year-old what he wants for breakfast, and he goes, I'll have Frosties, bitch. Whack! The kid goes flying out of his chair, crying his eyes out, right? Yes. And the mother looks at the 4-year-old and goes, and what do you want? And he goes, I don't know, but it won't be effing Frosties, I'll tell you that. Hey, you see? Because
kids are adorable.
They do say the darndest
They
things.
sure do. 6:32 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. The Pioneer Valley forecast is brought to you by Freedom Credit Union. Freedom is yours. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Am I supposed to do the forecast?
No, you don't have to.
You just said the Pioneer Valley forecast is
Oh my
brought
God!
to you
I'm so sorry. It's time for news.
Oh,
Here's Steve
see,
Nagle.
all that button pushing fries your brain. You need to get back in the game, dude.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I've actually worked.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
It's hard.
Should I start all over again for you?
No, it doesn't matter.
You sure?
Yeah,
I'm
let's
more
do
than
it.
happy.
All right.
More
go
than
ahead.
happy
All
to
right,
do
go
it.
ahead. Let's do it.
All right. Okay. Hold on just a second here. Okay. It's 6:33 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news. It is brought to you by Freedom Credit Union. Freedom is yours. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
And now we're all out of time. Your Pioneer Valley forecast today. Hey, you know what?
What?
It's back to school! Are you excited?
You know, it doesn't affect me anymore because I've been out of school for a while, and my kids are out of school now, so it's not the same. Not buying them matching clothes and matching backpacks anymore. Not doing any of that stuff.
Listen, I know Mrs. Baxendale's a very nice lady, but
Yeah.
I'm sure that there's a little bit more free time in the Baxendale household now that one of you is going back to work.
She was actually back to work last week.
Yeah, right.
So because they had like a whole week of prep. It's like a professional development. So she's ready.
Yeah.
In her mind, she's like, all right, I know what I'm into. I know what I'm in for. I'm going in.
I'm just talking about
Cover me.
that time now that you have by yourself at
Yeah.
the house. Just for a few hours. It's a few hours.
Well, in fairness,
Yeah.
she spent a good deal of the summer up in New Hampshire, our place up there. Mm-hmm. And so she would like leave on like Monday, and I'd drive out there on a Thursday.
Yeah.
So I got plenty of free time over the summer.
Yeah, but
It's
now
not
you
like
have
any
even
different.
more free time.
Yeah, but she's still going to be home by 3:00.
Yeah, well, that's plenty of time for you to do all the hijinks that you normally do.
There ain't going to be any hijinks.
As students across the region prepare to head back to school today, families are getting ready for the big day with careful planning. Educators recommend that families establish routines to ease the transition back to school, including packing backpacks and preparing lunches the night before.
Because I'm sure you parents have no recollection of doing that last year during the school year.
I don't know, man. I remember way back when my kids were going into kindergarten for the first time, my oldest. And I remember sitting there, and first of all, it was one of those orientation things for just the parents,
right?
To bring the parents to. So they have have the whole gymnasium. The parents come into the gymnasium. The principal starts talking, and she starts explaining, all the different things that are going to be happening. How your kid, because a lot of people first time going to school. It's not like daycare. It's a completely different beast.
It's school.
It's school. It's you're going to be learning, And the principal explains all the things that are going to be happening in the school year, and how even with the bus system now, we can no longer allow like kids to go home with each other. You ever have like a friend? Oh, you get a bus pass for the day,
Yeah.
and you get to go home with the kid.
You can't do that anymore?
It was because of the budgeting, and they didn't have enough budget to have enough seats and have enough buses to run to go to different places. And we live out in the middle of nowhere, so it was kind of like. So they get through all of this stuff, and some lady, there was a couple of questions. One lady said, "Well, how long do they get to eat?" And then the principal says, "Well, just put it in perspective. The last person in the lunch line usually has 20 to 25 minutes. So the last person,
Right.
I think it's like a 35-minute lunch break or whatever it was, right?
Okay.
So they're saying the last one, at least they have 20 minutes of lunch. Will they? What was it? Will they? What if my child doesn't get to eat?" And I'm like, how many kids have you heard of going to school that were like, "No, you weren't in line and ahead of time, so you're not going to get any food"? It was kind of a weird
dumbest question I've ever heard.
Well, no, the dumbest question was, "Well, can I ride the bus to school with my kid for the first week?" And I'm like, cut the cord. Just cut it. Cut it.
I'm
I
sorry.
know you missed the boat 5 years ago, but you need to cut the cord.
I'm sorry. This umbilical cord does not meet our school uniform rules. So, no, you will not be able to take the bus with your child.
And I'm like, lady, are you out of your mind? She just told you they don't even have enough buses to carry the kids that they already have. And you want to ride the bus with your kid to school? How embarrassing would that be, even at the age of 5 years old?
You know what? When my kids went to school for the very first time, I remember there were a lot of tears and everything.
Yeah.
And I was not really upset that they went to school. I thought, this is great. This is what they should be doing. They should be going to school and enjoying the educational process. I didn't have a problem with it, but I know some parents, especially first-time parents, they just cannot. The separation anxiety that the parent feels sometimes is more outrageous than the separation anxiety the kid feels.
Yeah.
Kid feels that separation anxiety for all of 10 minutes, and once they're in the room and the doors get locked and closed, they're in it.
Yeah,
they are in it, and they adapt.
My kids go back on Thursday, which this is another thing. I don't understand these stupid schedules. Why don't you just make it the day after Labor Day like it had traditionally been? What is this 2 extra day thing? One of them being a half day.
Right. Right. So they're going. Your kids are going Thursday, Friday, off on Monday because it's Labor Day, back on Tuesday. What is the point of that?
I have no idea. And you know what? People could get a little bit more extra vacation room if the kids just started the day after Labor Day.
There's a lot of school systems, especially like further south and away from here, even in the Midwest, where they started 2 weeks ago.
Dude,
and I got to tell you, if I were one of them kids, that would turn me into a bad seed.
August 1st is when my sister works in a school system down south. August 1st is when the southern schools go back to school.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, but they also get out in the beginning of May.
What a difference does it make?
I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. I don't know if it's
Labor Day makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. After Labor Day, take the Monday off, back on Tuesday, boom. Everyone's there. You don't have to interrupt the school week. Boom, everyone's good.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Let the education roll.
I have no idea why they continue to do that. But here we are. It's the beginning of a new school year, and yay, I guess. I don't know. My kids are like, I don't want to go back to school.
Now they're high school now, right?
One's in high school, and the other one's still in 8th grade. So it's kind of all one school where we are anyway, because there's like 5 kids that go there. But it's
all the same, the one-room schoolhouse.
Yeah, but it's like they're not excited like they used to be.
Well, I mean,
oh boy, let's go back to school.
That's part of the age, though.
Yeah, I guess
that's the age.
Massachusetts is considering allowing public marijuana use with new regulations drafted by the Cannabis Control Commission. The Mass Cannabis Control Commission has outlined 3 types of licenses for social consumption and is currently accepting public comments on the proposed regulations. It has the potential to provide spaces like yoga studios or coffee cafes that would allow for consumption. This is according to Peyton Shubrick, the founder of Six Bricks. If implemented, the Massachusetts would become the 11th state to allow social consumption of cannabis. Cannabis business owners have expressed uncertainty about what social consumption could look like under these new regulations.
So these are designated areas in which you can smoke.
Yeah, like a cigar bar type of deal.
Isn't it interesting that you would never see someone say, man, we're going to put together a cigarette cafe where cigarette smokers can get together with other cigarette smokers and enjoy their lung cancers together?
Yeah, but they do it with cigars. I think it's because it's the.
But it's funny that like now cigarette smokers now are the ones who are most stigmatized. It seems.
Are there a lot of cigarette smokers left anymore?
I don't know. I mean, not nearly as what there used to be. That's for sure.
But I mean, even the cigar bars. You'd think somebody would have put a stop to that too. You know, with all the.
Except, you know, the cigar bars that I've been into. So the Cigar Room 2 and Smokey Joe's downtown. The ventilation systems in those places are unbelievable. Yeah. Like you don't walk out of there feeling like you've just been at a cigar bar for a couple hours.
But cigarette smoke and cigar smoke are 2 completely different.
It's a different way of smoking, but you can be in an area that you've been smoking cigars at, and that it stays with you for a long time.
Yeah.
But with these places, then their ventilation systems are unbelievable.
Well, maybe they'll do that with the marijuana thing. I got to tell you, when I went out to Vegas last year, and I went to this, it was Planet 13 was the name of the place, the consumption bar. That was actually pretty cool. You got to sit in there. Mm-hmm. You could buy a mocktail because they don't serve alcohol with thing. But you buy a mocktail and you buy 2 joints. It's like $70.
But you're there all day.
But you're there all day long. And I ran, it was kind of cool. They had, the whole vibe of the place was just, they're playing, Grateful Dead and Fish and all this other stuff in the background.
Of course they are.
Well, because that's the stoner music. Nobody's playing Amy Grant in the background of at a
Can we change this jukebox? We want some more endless noodling.
Yeah, there's no Peebo Bryson being played at the marijuana consumption bar.
It's too bad.
I know. It's a whole new world when you think about it by yourself with Peebo Bryson, right? But it was probably one of the coolest things, and it didn't. Surprisingly, what you just said about the ventilation system, you couldn't really tell. You weren't like stuck in a haze of smoke. Like the smoke would go away. Like it was so well ventilated that yes, it did smell like marijuana, but it didn't have that nasty marijuana smell.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm saying it, because a lot of people say, "Ooh, I wouldn't want to go to that," because you'd be nothing but like a big green fog, and I'll get my secondhand smoke. It's like it's really kind of not that way.
If you design it the right way, with the right ventilation, you're right. It's not
like you got a bunch of guys in lawn chairs in a garage with the door closed. You know what I'm talking about?
But yeah, right. Well, think about remember the last live show that we did back at the Academy of Music?
Yeah.
And then afterwards, we go do our little after party thing. And as we're walking, the air was so stale in Northampton that night that you could smell everybody's marijuana.
Oh, it was all over the place.
And it's gross. And as much as, I think that's I don't really have a problem with people who smoke marijuana at all. You know what I mean? Like there's no issue there. I do have an issue with the amount that's being smoked in public because it lingers. It's actually almost worse than cigarette smoke in a way. It's just a different.
It's a different kind of smell. It's a different kind of waft.
Yeah.
And I think waft is a good way of putting it because you can smell someone from a big, long distance.
Well, I'm all about the consumption bars, so bring them on. I don't know who's doing yoga, though, you're doing yoga.
Well, I mean,
and smoking marijuana at the same time.
Trying to imagine what all that activity would do to your chakras.
Yeah,
I mean, they'd be in a total plane of full and total relaxation and total consciousness.
I guess so. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like something that should go together.
Oh, I don't know about that, Steve.
Your Pioneer Valley forecast today is going to be a mix of sun and clouds with a high of 80. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 75. It is 66 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Oh, yeah.
To Springfield's Classic Rock at 6:52 and the Doors with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It's going to be a mix of sun and clouds today with a high of 80. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 75. It is 66 right now in downtown Springfield.
We're just talking off the air. Yesterday was my wife's birthday, and so
happy birthday!
Yeah, well, thank you. I'll be sure to pass it along. Anyway, rather than get a cake because it was just the two of us yesterday, she said, "Let's go to Rogers in Chicopee."
Yeah,
and I'm like, "What's that? Where is that?" I had never heard of it before, and we ordered one of them mini ice cream bombs,
which is like the size of a head.
It is in fact the size of a human head, and you can buy the regular bomb, which is for 4 people, and the mini bomb, which the two of us could not finish.
Yeah,
and I was just saying it was kind of like the Bernie's Dining Depot of ice cream. That's the conductor's cut of ice cream.
Yeah, they do a pretty good job over there at the what's the place called?
Rogers.
Rogers. I just know where it is.
I just don't know how I've gone 30 years without even knowing anything about this place, and then all of a sudden I stumble across it. And I'm going, after eating my portion of this thing, and we couldn't finish it.
Yeah.
After eating what I could eat, I was like, whew, I cannot feel my fingers and toes. I could feel the diabetes,
the diabetic shock.
I could totally no longer feel any of my extremities.
Yeah, well, that means you had a good experience.
It was a good experience, but it's going to have to be a little bit before I can go back. I have to let the blood sugars calm down for a little bit.
We kind of did an ice cream tour up the East Coast, starting in North Carolina. Yeah, the only place I found that was good down there was in Kill Devil Hills. It was the Kill Devil custard.
Custard.
Yeah, it's a frozen custard.
Custard is good.
It's super good, and that was the best one I had. The rest of them were they were just selling generic ice cream. It wasn't like homemade ice cream.
Yeah.
The place I lived when I was a kid that I took my kids to on the way home, it was called the Denville Dairy in Denville, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of weird. You ever go back? I mean, obviously, do you visit Rehoboth a lot?
Yeah, sure.
I don't get to visit this place very often. So the last time I was there, I think I was like 12 years old.
Yeah.
Like in the area. And everything looks almost the same. And then you're trying to figure out because new construction has been built and things like that. But everything looks smaller. Because when you're a kid, everything is so big.
Yeah. It is absolutely true. The things that you thought were once enormous, when you see them as an adult, you go, "What was I so impressed by?"
Right. So, we had that was like the homemade ice cream, and it's just so good.
Yeah,
any place that makes homemade ice cream,
it's good.
Yeah, it is pretty good, especially with the milk fat percenter, the cream, and all that stuff.
They just opened. You talking about custard? They just opened up a frozen custard stand in Rehoboth. It's the first one I've seen up around here.
Yeah,
but if you go to say Wisconsin or Minnesota or any of those other states, it's all frozen custard.
Yeah,
you'd be lucky to find a legitimate ice cream shop.
Yeah,
it's all custard, and it's fantastic.
It sounds good.
Oh, it's so creamy and delicious.
We need a custard place around here.
Yeah, custard is it's a little bit kind of like it's like right in the middle of what a soft serve and the hard pack ice cream would be.
It's like a fattier ice cream is what it is.
It's much fattier. It's made with more eggs.
Yeah,
and absolutely delicious.
Yeah, so that was the good experience. But I'm glad you enjoyed the Rogers because Rogers. It's like the Fred Flintstone, piece of beef flipping the car over.
It's a Brontosaurus burger of ice cream, and the enormity of this thing literally was about about a human head, and a large, like a Peyton Manning type of light type of head. I mean, it was ridiculous.
They got a place in Syracuse that's very much like that. When I was a kid, it was called the Marcellus Ice Cream. It's attached to a bowling alley.
Of course.
There was nothing good about the bowling alley ice cream when I was a kid. However, going back, 6, 7 years ago, my brother suggests, hey, you should take the kids down to the Marcellus ice cream. And I'm like, I ain't going to that crap hole. And he's like, no. He's like, you got to try it. The new owner.
Yep.
And they did the exact same concept. It's this particular ice cream is so creamy. It's so good.
Yeah.
But it's the size. It's like a small is about 2 feet long.
Yeah.
It's a humongous amount of ice cream.
I could have sat back and rested my feet on these things.
Yeah. That's how big.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Well, happy birthday to your wife.
Thank you. It's 6:58 with Bax and Nagle and Rockwell.
And now, Bax's View from the Couch. Brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware, your grilling destination. Weber, Big Green Egg, Uni Pizza Ovens, and Traeger Wood-Fired Grills.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Well, as you know, I'm a huge fan of rare and valuable sports collectibles. Are you kidding me? From my official Lorenzo Romar bath mat to my Jason Isringhausen collection of autographed beach towels, I'm crazy about that stuff. Of course, I have some stupid stuff too, but for the most part, these are precious mementos that could be worth a fortune someday. Sadly, I do not have enough available capital to have wasted my money this weekend on what is being described as the holy grail of sports card collectibles. On Saturday night, a rare autographed 2007, 2008 Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant Upper Deck trading card was sold at auction for a record-breaking sum of $12.5 million. That makes this the largest amount ever spent on a single trading card at auction. Why is it so valuable? Well, it might have something to do with the fact that only one of them was ever made, and also that they have 2 verifiable signatures. Who bought it? According to reports, the card was purchased by an anonymous buyer. Now, he's only anonymous because he's refusing to reveal his name. Everyone in the sports world is currently identifying the guy as the douchebag that just spent $12.5 million on a trading card. And while it kind of makes my Phil Esposito back scratcher seem worthless by comparison, at least I don't have the whole population of collectors saying, get a load of this guy. You can have your $12 million Jordan Kobe card. I'm going to play with my collection of Darryl Stingley bobbleheads instead, because at least that brings me joy. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. Steel, the orange and white outdoor power tools, chainsaws, blowers, trimmers. Steel tools have got a pretty good warranty, but you can double that warranty when you also buy Steel Motomix fuel. Get Steel and get complete offer details at your neighborhood Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 7:10, and George Thorogood and Steve clearing his throat on Rock 102.
It's going to be a mix of sun and clouds today with a high of 80. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 75. It is 66 right now in downtown Springfield.
Scott Cohen is on vacation this week, so we had to scramble to find something else to talk about.
Scramble, and scramble we did.
Yes.
We scrambled. Thank God I had enough experiences over the last week that I could share to fill the time, because, God, I really love hearing about inaccurate sports information.
Well, when you have a gaping hole like that in the show.
What do we do?
Every week. Then when you don't have it.
Then you don't have it. You're like, whoa, we have actually.
Now what do we do?
Oh, it's free time. We can talk about whatever we want. We're not held hostage for 15 minutes.
You're right. I will say that later on this morning, though, it is Autumn Mist Monday. You'll get a chance to win something nice from Autumn Mist Farms.
Ah, there you go. So over the weekend, obviously, I was telling you earlier, my vacation was cut short by the hurricane that was here off the coast last week.
Right.
Whatever. My sister called me up and said, hey, I got these tickets to see Howie Mandel and Brad Garrett at Mohegan Sun on Saturday. Would you like to go? And I said, sure. I'll go. So I met her down there. It was like an 8 o'clock show on Saturday night. Mm-hmm. Brad and Howie both came out on stage together.
Together?
Yeah.
You and Marty don't even do that.
I don't know, but I'm kind of thinking this might be the way to do it, because these guys flipped a coin to see who would go first. Right?
Well, they're both headliner, quality.
They absolutely are.
You guys are both middle quality. I don't see why not.
So they flipped a coin, middle quality. They flipped a coin, and then it was decided that Howie Mandel would go first. And I haven't seen Howie Mandel do stand-up in probably 30 years. I used to watch, when I was a kid, I used to go to a friend's house, and his parents had Showtime, and we used to watch the Howie Mandel specials on the thing, which was, and one of my favorite bits that he did during one of those specials was he was on a rotating stage at the time, and somebody got up to go to the bathroom, and he made everybody shift their seats.
One seat over.
When the guy came back from the bathroom, he couldn't find his seat because everybody had moved, and of course the stage is rotating. So I always thought that was a fun thing, when I was a kid.
Now, did he have the big giant handbag and put rubber gloves on his head?
Nope, he didn't do any of that stuff. No. And actually, I was very impressed by the material that he had come out with, and he's filthy. He is absolutely filthy, which is great. It's great to watch that, and it's great to watch people cringe.
Yeah,
when they have a perception of somebody. He's on that America's Got Talent show. It's a pretty dry role. He's doing it to make money.
Yeah, kind of like saying elsewhere, he wasn't particularly funny when he was performing surgeries.
Well, but he was pretty funny the rest of the time.
Sure.
But it was people's perception of how somebody should be, and they're like, "Wow, this isn't the guy that we know and love. This isn't the Howie Mandel we know.
This isn't the same guy from Bobby's Place."
And it wasn't like like super intelligent material.
Right.
It was a little hacky, but he knows how to deliver. If you can tell a story, if you're a good storyteller,
yeah.
And he had the room. He had the entire room, except for a few people that we started walking out, I guess.
Out of Howie Mandel.
Howie Mandel, but when they really started walking out was then when Brad Garrett came out. Now, Brad Garrett comes out, and he is filthy. And he even acknowledges the fact that, that's not the Robert from my TV show that I watch. He comes out, and he doesn't care who he doesn't care who he's talking about.
Right.
He said the last time he was here, he was not invited back for 15 years because of all the Native American jokes that he made about Mohegan Sun, and he didn't hold back this time either. And I thought it was hilarious. He picks on everybody.
Right.
He's one of these versatile comedians. He started, and it wasn't even that long. It was maybe 2 minutes of jokes about Trump. And these people were like, F you! And you see them getting up and walking out of the arena, giving him the middle finger.
Oh, my God.
And they were, I thought they were actually pretty funny jokes. They weren't he wasn't picking a side. He was making fun of what we got going on here.
And I assume it's very likely he could have made fun of the other side, too.
I don't think he got that far once he realized how many people were walking out.
Yeah.
Right? But even he was acknowledging, oh, yeah, see you later. Have fun on the way back to the casino. My question is, how offended can you be? What is your expectation going to a comedy show?
Well, that's kind of how I feel. It's like, you think about the context in which you are being entertained. It's a comedy show. Are you not aware that sometimes comedians may try to push the envelope a little bit in an effort to be funny? Yeah. I mean, why you would even walk into a comedy show if you are particularly sensitive to jokes?
I know.
That's the thing. But why would you go to a dairy bar if you have lactose intolerance?
But I thought that this was, for years we've heard of, everybody's so offended these days. You can't even tell a joke. And then those people who say that are the very ones that get offended and walk out of a comedy show that they paid $75 to go see. Like, what is going through your brain that you can't handle something? You can handle every other joke except one.
You know, I get it. I mean, we've seen like videos emerge over the years. Like a comic will talk about, say like a disease. Let's just, for the sake of argument, say it's cancer. He'll do 4 or 5 minutes of cancer.
Well, the
jokes.
one guy laughed.
Well, but
he had cancer.
He had cancer.
And laughter is the best medicine.
Well, but that's my point.
Yeah.
So there will be some people that will be automatically offended by that, and understandably so. You can be offended by that, but then it's the comic's job to turn that into something that's not offensive. It's funny, and then if you lose your patience with that and walk out, well, who's really at fault? Is the comic, or is it the fact that you're just not bringing your sense of humor in there with you when you should have known that's always going to be a possibility?
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
I don't get the people who get so offended, and you're so. Why would you subject yourself to it if you were going to be offended anyway?
Yeah. You know who used to have that problem? Bob Saget used to have that problem.
Yeah.
Especially because...
I got a great story about that, too. But
all of those guys will tell you that there was nobody, and I mean nobody, who was more blue than Bob Saget. You mean the guy from that show? Yes. Bob Saget was the filthiest comic that maybe ever lived, and yet people lost their minds when they saw him on stage.
About 10 years ago, one of my sisters took my mother to the Bob Saget show at the Hard Rock Casino in Tampa, right? And my mother was all excited, but she had no idea.
Right.
And then and she didn't leave the show. She stayed and, took it. She's not one of those people that gets up and walks out.
Right.
Or was one of those people. But I remember hearing, we saw Bob Saget last night. I'm like, you saw Bob Saget? No way. And she's like, he is absolutely filthy. And I'm like, that's the beauty of it. Though,
yeah.
Because you see somebody who's so pure all the time. And so, and people idolize that person for being in that pure space that they own. On a sitcom that's about family and lighthearted humor and things like that, and then to see a guy, tell the aristocrats joke on stage that takes 10 minutes to tell, but is the filthiest version that you've ever heard. That to me is the art of it. That's the whole thing. Like I don't think you could. Maybe if you personally attacked me somehow, like my family, maybe that would be the offensive part. But
if you were going through a particular tragedy in your life and the joke just happened to be about something you're dealing with, all right, I can understand you have a particular sensitivity to it. That makes sense. But if you're going in there because with the idea, I'm going to laugh because it's going to be good-hearted, wholesome comedy, and you don't get that, what were your expectations? I don't know. I can understand, someone like your mom, a nice elderly lady not being prepared for a Bob Saget.
Not being prepared for it, but also not taking it to task going, oh my God, I can't believe I even walked into this place. It just wasn't something she was expecting.
Yeah, but you probably inside laughed very hard because Bob Saget, as filthy as he was hilarious.
I find it very hypocritical of the people who were like, oh, we can't laugh at anything anymore. Those are the same people that are complaining about one joke.
Yeah.
You're talking one joke. Enough to make you forfeit the money that you just spent in some sort of weird protesty kind of way. You look like an idiot walking out of there. Everybody's looking at you like, why are you leaving? Like, are you that really? I think those people really just wanted to get to the bar or the slot machines out at the main table.
They're gonna remove my marker from the blackjack table if I don't get back down there.
I told you I went to that Kid Rock show a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And it 30 minutes of it is like an indoctrination of like to try to join a political party. I don't want to see that. Like that wasn't. But I kind of expected to know that was the kind of culture that was going to be there. I didn't expect it to be that long.
Yeah.
I wasn't offended by it. It was more of like, there we go. Let's get through this so you can come out and sing Cowboy like the person that we paid to see you.
Right, I know.
To be the person that you were. But this whole idea of, I don't know, that you just paid money to do something and then you walk out of it.
It's the absurd part of buying tickets for a comedy show.
Yeah.
Just the absurdity of the whole thing. By the way, there's a comedy show this Thursday. Dinner and a comedy show for $20.
Yes. Plenty of safe spaces for you to hang out with in that complex over they call the Shortstop.
Yes, if you want to bring your comfort animals, I'm sure they'll allow you to bring them in.
Yeah. The last time somebody was offended at the Shortstop was when Belize owned it and somebody got a bill for a transmission.
It's 7:23 on Rock 102. Classic Rock, it's 7:28, and The Who with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Liam's got the full forecast for you.
Rock 102 presents the Classic Rock Summer. Still time to sign up for the big summer stash of prizes. If you go to rock102.com, you could win a $25 gift card to Stord and Tavern. You have until Labor Day in order to win. So you got to sign up right away. Listen to Pat Kelly every weekday afternoon. He announces the winner. It's the Classic Rock Summer, brought to you by the Leah Auto Group on Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock.
What else going on? What do you got?
Big E is right around the corner. Last week they announced the new foods.
Did you go?
I did not go, and I missed the. I have kept my streak going of missing the media day for 15 straight years, and
well, that's coming up. The media day.
I think they just had it.
No, there's one the night before.
Oh, the night before. Yeah, I probably missed that one too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not because I have a problem with it. It just I like to be surprised when I go in there.
It's the same thing every year. There's no difference.
I know, that's why I'm
at.
waiting for them to change it all up, so it's not the same that it was 15 years ago.
All right. Well, anything interesting?
Well, there's a couple of things here. I mean, there seems to be less pickle stuff. Let's say there aren't pickle things going on, but there seems to be less of them. Whiskey bread pudding from the Steaming Tender.
Yeah.
All right. There's let's see, an espresso cream puff.
Okay.
All right. Famous Asian sticky ribs. I do like those. A couple of new cocktail ideas, including one that V1 is doing, where it's served in a like a Christmas ornament.
Yeah.
So now you got a collectible Christmas ornament that you got to hold on to for the entire time you're at the Big E. And I know enough people that probably have enough of those balls to decorate the entire tree.
I wonder if those will be in the Lost and Found.
Yeah, I don't know. Lobster nachos from I don't know.
Hey, you know what? I'm not. I went to the Cummington Fair on Friday night.
You did?
Yeah, I took my kids and their friends over to the Cummington Fair.
And how was that?
It was all right. I mean, it's a local fair, so it's not a Big E type of thing. You're not going to get. But there was some vendors there.
The Taste of Cummington.
Somebody playing a fiddle, and there was a demo derby going on with minivans.
You don't say.
Oh yeah, it was a hell of a show, and but I paid $14 for a sausage sandwich, which I thought was a little high.
$14?
Yeah.
How big was the sausage?
It wasn't any bigger than like a regular sausage sandwich. You know, it was one
like
bun.
a 6-inch sausage. Is that
Yeah,
really?
Pretty much. But the peppers and onions, I guess that's what you're paying for.
Well, I mean, that's a lot for.
Well,
that's a lot for.
I kind of kicked myself in the butt because later on I'm walking around and I see another one for $10. I'm like, how did I get screwed out of $4 from this other guy? I'm sure the sausage, it's sausage. How good could it be for $4 extra more?
There's no uniformity in the pricing from one food vendor to the next?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I like that.
Yeah, but the ice cream was good. They had soft serve there. That was pretty good.
There you go. See? Now here we are talking about food again.
Cummington ice cream.
Ah, the taste of Cummington.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
You know, there's a
Bring extra napkins.
You know, I bought a T-shirt from there, from the Cummington Fair, just to have the fact that it said Cummington on it.
Right.
Yeah. But I want to make T-shirts about there's a specific rock that you can find only in Cummington, Massachusetts, and it's called Cummingtonite. And
yes.
I want to get T-shirts that say, I love Cummingtonite. I think that would be a pretty profitable idea.
I think that would really sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I went to the Biscuits and Porn place last week in North Carolina. It's just a gimmick. The quote-unquote porn magazines are really just like bikini babes. There's no like.
It's not really good porn.
There's no hardcore, which is fine.
But you've mentioned this before. The biscuits are outstanding.
The biscuits are outstanding. The most expensive biscuit is about $4. It's like loaded, but it's in a little tiny hole in the wall gas station, and in spite of the biscuits being cheap, and the lack of actual pornography. The T-shirts are $25, and there's people walking in left and right buying a $25 T-shirt that probably only cost about $6 to make.
Yeah.
That guy is a genius, whoever owns that.
Well,
place.
I'm sure when you were down the Outer Banks, you saw Dirty Dick's Crab Shack.
Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah,
I got my
one.
crabs from Dirty Dick's.
Right.
And listen.
And I bought that T-shirt not really thinking it through.
Yeah.
Thinking, how the hell am I going to wear this up in Massachusetts?
Well, why couldn't you?
Because I would be a little bit hesitant to have to explain it to everybody that saw me in public wearing the shirt.
No. Yeah, well, we should do the Cummingtonite shirts.
Yes. We got news next to Rock 102.
Here's your
736 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Hey, it's back to school week. Some kids starting today, some kids not starting until Thursday, but it's back to school time.
Some kids got no chance of learning nothing.
That's right. I'll be able to enjoy a couple hours apiece by myself now.
Yeah, but, they come home and then all of a sudden all that early high school, middle school year drama kicks in. You're going to love all that stuff.
I'm going to love all that stuff, but at least I'll have a couple hours to myself every day.
What are you going to do with all that time?
Take a nap.
Yeah.
I'm going to nap.
And then what are you going to do tomorrow?
Take a nap.
Thursday?
Take a nap.
What about on Friday?
Take a nap.
Have you planned ahead to next week?
Yeah, I'm going to take a nap pretty much every day.
Yeah, good for you.
During that time. So back to school. Just be careful on the roads. Here's the thing. People, it's like the winter time. People don't forget that there's ice on the road when the winter comes around for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing with the back to school traffic. Give yourself some extra time and make sure you're paying attention, because that's how kids get hit. People not paying attention, and they're not used to the school buses being back in, even though it's only been a couple of months.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know when a bus stops and that little thing comes out of the side of the bus that said stop?
Yeah.
You know why they have those things?
Why?
So that people stop.
Yeah, but some people don't stop.
Well, you need to stop. You want to you want to let the adorable little children get to the other side of the road. I know there's probably a punchline in there somewhere, but if it says stop.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. Just stop.
Yeah, it's not going to be like, why did the kid cross the road? Well, because the guy in the Camaro didn't see the stop sign.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't want that to be the punchline. Yeah.
No, nobody wants that.
The Southwick Police Department is seeking assistance in identifying an individual who stole from a tree company. They're going to tear him limb from limb when they find him. The Southwick Police posted several photos on social media stating that the suspect in the photos is responsible for the theft of several chainsaws stolen early Thursday morning. They say that the suspect has covered his identity well. However, their clothing has distinctive designs. If you can identify the suspect or have any information, you're asked to call the Southwick Police Department. These are the blurriest photos that I've ever seen.
Where are these?
It's on 22. All right, I see one here that might be. He has something written across the chest. I can't tell, but this guy breaks in and steals some chainsaws from obviously a garage.
Well, I mean, he must have. I mean, obviously, he has some cutting he needs to do.
Well, I'm doing some chainsaw work.
Yeah. Listen, I got some trees down. I got to deal with it. I can't afford to. I can't afford to go to, say, like a Rocky's Ace Hardware and get myself a steel chainsaw, even though they are reasonably priced for the average Joe like you and me. This guy apparently doesn't want to spend that kind of money for any good quality outdoor equipment.
I guess so. So if you see the chainsaw bandit in Southwick, make sure you call the police. A Massachusetts woman with an active warrant was charged with trafficking methamphetamine. The Middleborough Police Department states that on Wednesday at 11:45 a.m., an officer learned that a guest at a hotel on East Clark Street had a warrant out for her arrest. Officers served the warrant to 49-year-old Olivia Nomi Folsom of Brighton, and she was taken into custody. Officers found 34 grams of meth, this small plastic bag, crack cocaine, and drug paraphernalia, and she was charged with all kinds of good stuff. She was arraigned on Wednesday and ordered held on $2,500 bail. Did you see the mugshot of this person?
In fact, I did. To say it's hair-raising is a little bit of underselling it a bit.
It's a balding woman.
Not balding, not bald. I think this is the kind of woman who has actually pulled her own hair out.
Well, I think the meth may have something to do with that.
Perchance. I was more intrigued about whether she was able to use her Marriott Bonvoy rewards points for upgrade in that hotel.
Well, isn't that where you usually get your Marriott Bonvoy rewards, is trafficking meth?
You got to stay to play.
Yeah. What about, I bet she's got a Southwest Rapids reward account, too.
Probably does.
Yeah, you're now feel free to sell meth about the country.
I'm sure she's also an Alamo car rental preferred customer.
She's got it all going on.
She does, from interesting looks to a lot of points stacked up.
Do you get a better stay in the jail when you're charged with trafficking meth?
No, I don't think you do. I think
system?
No, it's a very equal opportunity place of residence.
It's ibuprofen.
Uh-huh.
That was one of the statements she made. It's ibuprofen.
Yeah, ibuprofen doesn't make you pull your hair out like that, lady.
Or have your teeth fall out.
No.
Yeah.
Even if you're chewing on them.
She looks like the dad in Step Brothers. the one that once wanted to be a dinosaur. Yeah. What was his name? What was the actor's name that played that? He's been in a lot.
Yeah, he's been in a
million
things.
Ton of movies. Now I'm gonna have to find it.
I don't know where his name is. All I know is I'm not gonna call him Dad, even if it's on fire.
Right. Let's see. Adam Scott, Richard Jenkins.
That's it.
Richard Jenkins.
He was in a million things.
Well, apparently he's trafficking meth in Methuen. Sometimes, people resort to things that they don't want to resort to.
I know, but I don't see any karate going on in the garage in this case.
Dollar Tree managers promised to do better after racking up thousands of dollars in fines and years of complaints about their trash-strewn parking lot on Allen Street in Springfield. I've been dealing with it since it opened, and always been a problem with litter, said City Councilor Tim Allen, whose ward includes Allen Street. There isn't a day when you go there and there aren't at least 150 pieces of litter on the driveway. For years, people have complained about the state of the lot, but the problem came to the forefront this summer when the City Council started looking at the city's $1 million plus in unpaid tickets. By then, Dollar Tree had tallied thousands in fines issued by the police ordinance unit and additional ones from code enforcement and zoning officers. Last week, a city council subcommittee met with corporate managers of the store to see if they could push to get the fines paid and the lot cleaned up regularly. A follow-up meeting is scheduled for September 4th. The Dollar Tree is such a mess. There's no plan in terms of cleanup, said Keith O'Connor, deputy director of the housing code enforcement in the city. We have talked to the store manager in the past, and we've gotten nowhere. It's a Dollar Tree. Where are you going to get with them?
Yeah, not to surprise anybody here, but there are other parts of the city that are equally as littered.
Well, adding to the problem is that there are a few trash...
It's not the Dollar Tree. It's just Springfield.
There are a few trash barrels outside the store. In a recent visit, O'Connor saw one barrel was overflowing.
Well, then it was time to empty the barrel.
Yes, but what kind of trash is going into those barrels? And is it something that a regular worker making minimum wage at the Dollar Tree really wants to subject themselves to maybe getting poked by a needle or any number of items?
Yeah, these are good questions, Steve. I don't have an answer for you.
You know, if you pick up those hypodermic needles in a parking lot, you put them to your ear.
Yes, you can.
You can hear somebody losing everything.
Shh. Listen.
I hear somebody being evicted.
Oh, he lost his house.
Ooh, somebody's trafficking meth at a hotel in Methuen.
His car has been repossessed.
Your Pioneer Valley forecast today is going to be a mix of sun and clouds with a high of 80. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 75. It is 66 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Oh, yeah.
Hey, Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 7:51 and AC/DC with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Mix of sun and clouds with a high of 80. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 75. It is 68 right now in downtown Springfield.
So the Patriots are making cuts by tomorrow at 4:30. I believe it's next week. We'll be talking with Scott Zolak again.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so he'll be back. We'll be talking about Patriot football all season long. Hopefully it'll be a little bit happier conversations than we had the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
But, so Zolak is coming back, I believe, next week.
All right. That sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Here's what I did right before I went on vacation. I went down to the 4-H fair down in Summers.
This is with the goats, right?
Yeah, and I was a celebrity goat shower.
You know, I don't think those 3 words have ever been spoken. Celebrity goat shower.
Yeah.
That makes you kind of unique in the entertainment world,
I mean,
it?
I've shown the goat to people before.
Yeah, right.
But not in this particular way.
The Billy Goat Gruff is what you got.
Oh, this is the Billy Goat Punch is more like it. That's
Gotcha.
what I usually dole out. The Billy Goat Punch. Clench up.
Well, because they won't let you near the donkeys anymore.
Well, yeah, that was the one thing. Anyway, I used to have a radio show called the Billy Goat Punch Show.
Did you really?
That was like a derivative of the donkey punch,
but in a smaller scale. I get it.
Yeah, it's the stomach, not the back of the head. Anyway, so I go. I'm fixing myself to get some goats. So this opportunity came up from the 4-H folks, and I went down to the Summers fairgrounds down there for the 4-H fair.
Mm-hmm.
And what a great experience! I really like goats. Goats are
nice.
Goats are very nice. But I got to learn how to like stand them up straight.
Right.
And I had the very uncooperative goat.
What was wrong with his goat? Oh, your goat.
It wouldn't stay. Like you're supposed to like be able to position the legs like so it's stand. Like, it's basically like a dog show, but you basically parade it around. There's a judging it. A 4-H kid was trying to help me, give me all the information because it was her goat. And then when I get up to go show it, the judge goes, "Well, what breed of goat do you have?" And I'm like, "I haven't. It's a goat.
This one."
I don't know what breed. What are you talking about? I didn't know there was.
They didn't give you any notes.
Well, I mean, the kid explained to me this is how you set the thing up. You go and you can move the hooves on it to make it stand in place.
Sure.
Mine was being a little uncooperative only because I wasn't doing it right. You can't grab so high up on the leg. You got to grab lower on the leg.
Yeah.
And otherwise, you'll get the goat punch.
Right.
Which you don't want.
So, was your goat just unruly? It was like undisciplined?
It was a little like I don't want to deal with this a-hole. That was the kind of attitude that it was like I don't want to deal with this. I don't know who this guy is. I'm used to working with my regular handler. I don't know. This guy just walks in. He's on the Kellogg crew or something. I don't know where he's from. And the goat was a little uncooperative, but it was a fun time. I had a fun time, and thanks to the folks down at the 4-H for letting me be a part of that.
So will you be getting your own goats for
I'm
sure?
Working on it. Yeah. I got the space. I can definitely do it.
Well, I'll tell you what. Now that you've handled this goat, I would imagine in time you'd be able to handle any goat.
Yeah, pretty much. If you handle an unruly goat, you can definitely.
I don't think they're like unmanageable animals. I don't think they're like a rambunctious species.
Well, one of the guys that was there was telling me about how goats are probably the best ones you can get that are like mild-mannered, as opposed to like a pig or a sheep where they get like aggressive.
They got their own agenda, those pigs.
I know. Yeah. I used to go to Mingles quite a bit.
Yeah.
They are hard to wrangle.
I'm not as hot as you think.
No, but they'll still eat the half-eaten apples out of the trough, and the Skull Bandits, and the Long Island Hep C's.
Right.
They'll drink right out of the trough for that. But yeah, I'm fixing to get some of these goats. I guess I have to have them dehorned.
Really? Can't have horny goats?
I don't want a horny goat. I don't want to get stabbed with a horn.
You know, I was once relieved upon at the petting zoo at the Southwick Wild Animal Farm in Mendon, Massachusetts at the age of 9 years old.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. I was petting the goats.
Wow.
And the goat apparently didn't take to me too well, because I don't think that's a sign of appreciation. Backed up and urinated on me.
Oh.
And I was kicked out for responding in kind.
You were kicked out?
No, I wasn't kicked out. I'm joking. But nevertheless, I don't really trust goats that much after that experience. But if you're willing to get goats for your property, you'll never have to mow again. That's for sure. They'll eat right through the whole yard.
Well, here's some response. Best kind of goat is throat goat.
Yeah. Yep.
And who's had a little bit of throat goat?
Sure.
And make sure you invest in a good fence. That's the thing that is taking the longest because it's so expensive. I'm doing it in sections.
Really?
In order to make a strong fence so the goats don't escape.
It's like a goat prison over there.
It's not a goat prison. I mean, that's actually going to be a very nice little playground for the goats. But what you're talking about, that kind of thing, people pay for that kind of thing now.
Well, I'll never do that again.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
All right.
7:57 at Rock 102.
Rock 102's classic.
And now, Bax's View from the Couch. Brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware, your grilling destination. Weber, Big Green Egg, Uni Pizza Ovens, and Traeger Wood-Fired Grills.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? For most people, going to work on a Monday sucks. The weekend is over, you're back in the old grindstone, working for the man, sitting around your boring cubicle day after day with the same people talking about the same nonsense week after week. Well, it could always be worse. For example, you could be going to work today not knowing if you're going to make the Patriots' 53-man roster by tomorrow's league-imposed deadline. Suddenly, all that pointless inter-office gossip from Phil and accounting doesn't seem so bad after all, does it? On Friday, the Patriots made 14 cuts. These players include Jaheim Bell, Micah Bernard, Philip Bindi, Isaiah Bolden, Cole Frothingham, I should say, Phil Lutz, R.J. Moten, Kyle Pico, Jordan Polk, Monty Rice, Tyrese Robinson, City Sow, Shane Watts, and Ben Woolridge. Who are these guys? Don't worry about it. Just a bunch of guys whose hopes and dreams have been dashed and burned to the ground by the gutless mandate of an unfeeling sports league. A sports league that could care less about any of them. You see, the world is full of disappointments, and in the next several hours, many more players from around the NFL will be finding out exactly how disappointing it can be. So quit your bitching about going to work today, because it could always be worse. You could be one of those guys instead. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. Think 3 airline tray tables. That's the grilling service area of the Weber Spirit E210, the small Weber gas grill. Now $449 at Rocky's, delivered and assembled. They're available right now at your neighborhood Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch. Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock. It's 8:09, and Van Halen with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Mix of sun and clouds today, with a high of. Hold on a second. You got the forecast in front of you?
In fact, I do, Steve, and it goes very much like this. Cloudy today with a chance of an afternoon shower, high of 80. Tonight, maybe a few clouds, low of 55. Tomorrow, much nicer, mostly sunny with a high of 77. It is currently 67 degrees right now in downtown Springfield.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, Steve, that's why I'm who I am.
So last week I'm on vacation, and I notice on the TikToks that there's something brewing here about this parking space that's right next to the building.
I don't really know what the impetus of this whole thing was, but Erin, who I think many who have ever been to a Rock 102 event has probably met Erin. She's been here for a number of years. Nice lady. Apparently decided on her own that the parking space, which frankly you normally take, was going to be hers. And allegedly, there was some question about, well, just because Steve is gone, all of a sudden Aaron can all of a sudden just glide into that spot.
Well, no, there was a previous video to that.
Yeah, but
Pat Kelly complaining about the parking situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, then lo and behold, Aaron has a sign made that says Aaron's parking space. So I go out there, right? I just finished up doing the best of Bax and Nagle, and there's a sign out there, and I see it. I'm going, what the hell is this? Who decided that you could just take Steve's spot, or any spot for that matter? Just go ahead and blast through like Steve hasn't been gone for just like 6 hours, and all of a sudden she's in there.
Let's do a little history lesson here of how this all came to be.
Okay.
From the beginning.
Yes.
My beginning. 20 years ago this week, I started working here. 20 years ago this week when I started working here, there was no parking in this parking lot. It was full. We had over 50 employees working here. So any given day of the week, if you come here during the day, the parking lot would be jam-packed. These two spots that are right next to the building were reserved. One said reserved for general manager. There were signs out there, reserved for general manager, and the other spot was reserved for employee of the month. And at the time, that was like a coveted spot. I never really had to worry about it so much because I would never get employee of the month anyway. And B, I was here late enough in the day. I did nights here. I did 7 to midnight. There was hardly anybody here. There was always plenty of parking whenever I got here.
Right.
But I could see how those two spots were coveted, especially during the day. General manager, obviously, he gets to be parking close to the door.
Yes.
The employee of the month, that's a nice little morale-boosting kind of thing, whatever they were doing back then. But then over the years and financial collapses and whatnot, we don't have as many people as we do working here anymore.
Always an open space somewhere.
There's plenty of free parking here at 45 Fisher Avenue. So there was no need really for those signs anymore.
Right.
Because it was just kind of given that, the general manager who was here for years parked in that spot, and then the employee of the month spot, all the signs were just disappear. I don't know where they went. They probably went in the trash. But
they went into the dumpster.
There was a business manager who also parked there. So the two of them, the two managers would park in those spaces. Nobody really had a problem with it because no matter where you park in this lot, it's not a very far walk to the door.
Actually,
what?
There are spots in our lot that are closer than that preferred spot.
And that spot would have made more sense 20 years ago when the front desk was up at the up
by the conference room now. Right.
But you can't even get in that door from the outside anymore. You can only open it from the inside. It's they moved everything. So it really doesn't make a difference to park there. When that business manager retired, 7 years ago now, probably, something like that, he retires and the spot is open. So I just started parking there as almost like a joke. Like, hey, I'm just going to take this spot since, it's always been coveted by the business manager. Right. And it was kind of funny in the beginning, but then nobody really cared. It wasn't anything that anybody cared about. And I parked there for convenience because it's actually the safest spot in this entire complex. And let me explain.
Go on.
That is the most well-lit spot coming in here early in the morning or if you're leaving late at night.
And there have been many times when you've been the most lit employee.
Yes, well, there's been times for everything that we've had around here. But anyway, it's the most lit well-lit spot in the thing. There's not a lot of lights out there. It's a pretty dark parking lot. Matter of fact, we park our station vehicles next to a building that has a spotlight because we can't afford one to put there.
That's correct.
The thing. And we can borrow his footage in case something happens to the vans. It's the only place that people can feel safe. And if people want to argue over the space or taking the space, go ahead and have it. Because just before I left for vacation, maybe a couple of days before, I noticed there was a tree right there next to the building.
Okay.
That tree is hanging over this way, like towards
the building.
Towards the building and the park where the parking spot is. It's also hanging over some pretty hefty power lines, which are already being slagged down by a branch of another tree out there. If you were to park there and a windstorm came along, that tree is all rotted out with termites. I'm going to make a video of this later.
Sure.
It's all rotted out with termites and things like that. Mm-hmm. It's going to fall over. It's also going to bring down those power lines. And it's also going to destroy whatever car is sitting there.
Well, not mine, and not yours.
So I decided, you know what, when I come back from vacation, I'm not parking here anymore because the potential of the hazards of going here. Again, still the safest place in this complex, though, because if you look around at everything else, there is a sinkhole in front of the handicapped ramp, which is marked by a cone. I believe we stole it from the landscaper. There's a sinkhole out in front of the handicap ramp.
Right.
You go out on the side of the building. And I wasn't the only one that did a video about this. I think the Lufkin did it. Mm-hmm. There's weeds about 3 feet tall growing out of the gutters.
Yes.
And then you come in this building, and you come downstairs, and you have a dehumidifier from the mold to alleviate the mold that is floating around this basement of the building.
And just so you understand, there are 2 of those humidifiers in the building.
Yeah.
Both of them are R2-D2 size.
Yes, they're huge things. I don't even hear it running this morning. Somebody forgot to empty it, probably. But when we get a lot of rain in the area, you get squishies on the carpet.
Yes.
You can walk on the carpet and get your silver fishing kit out because you can go silver fishing right here in the Rock 102 studio.
Right? Yeah. The Friday that you left, okay, I had to come back to the radio station. I had a couple packages delivered. And it was a real hot, real humid day, if you recall. And I walk in, and my wife is with me. And when we walk into the building to grab these 2 packages, from around the edge of the walkway from the front door, at the bottom of those those rickety 3 steps that often have to be replaced because people could put their whole leg through. Right. I could smell the mildew of the building from at least 15 feet away from the building. What does that scream to you about this particular building?
So that's kind of where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
You come in here, it smells like mold down here. It also smells like dead animals because when the exterminator guy comes and poisons whatever it poisons, the mice tend to die in the walls, and then we don't know where they are.
Oh, see, I thought this was more like a Noah's Ark situation where we were taking 2 of every species.
No, this is not a Disney cartoon. This is not.
Are you sure?
Yeah. So you have that. You have those 2 smells.
Yes.
Which is masked by a Glade air freshener that smells like old lady perfume. So I'm trying to set the theater of the mind for you, what you're going to experience when you walk into this beautiful studio that we have here. So not only do you have leakage from storms, you got mold.
Yep.
That smells, along with the dead animal smells, masked by the old lady perfume and the Glade air freshener. And matter of fact, the only way we know that the Glade needs to be replaced is when the dead animal smell and the mold comes back more prominent than the Glade air freshener. With that said,
yes,
that space outside is still the safest place in this complex.
Even with a tree loaded with termites.
And I can understand why people would get envious of having that parking space. To me, it doesn't matter. I'm not like one of these, I need to have something.
Yeah.
That was where I was kind of asking you. You had a beef with this.
Well, I just thought... I just thought it was kind of presumptuous to assume that you can just claim it for yourself. So then what I did is I did a video in Erin's office where I just started using her workspace.
Well, you also made another video about you're being upset about there being a sign out there. You already have a bathroom.
Yeah, but it took me 30 years. Yeah, she gets a parking space and a sign on it. I got a toilet after 30 years. That's as good as it gets.
So what? What are you complaining about?
No one's ever given me the preferred parking space. No one's ever said, hey, you've been here a while. How about you take it? That's never been offered.
There is no preferred parking space. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Listen,
there really is no...
I know this, and you know this.
Yeah.
But there is some level of cachet to that spot. that apparently there is some sort of quiet competition for.
Why is the guy who's getting paid the most in the building complaining that there's not a parking space named after him?
Well, I park far away from the building because I want to be as safe as I can be from when this thing finally topples over.
That's what I'm talking about. And again, I only parked there because it was just mere convenience of coming in here and being a well-lit space.
Yeah.
If other employees want to feel safe in that space, then you go right ahead. Here's the thing. I don't need a parking space. I just want a safe space to work in.
Well, Steve,
but perhaps I'm being unreasonable.
You know, you got to pick and choose your battles, really? Don't you think?
No. Breathable air. That's not a battle. Not having wet feet when you walk down in the studio.
I know some people who develop COPD who lived for years with that kind of thing.
No. I have no problem with any other employee wanting that space. I would never put up a fight for it. Mm-hmm. And I'm certainly not going to put up for a fight for something that I just realized has one of the biggest safety issues. That when this tree comes down, it will. Now, I told somebody about this, somebody of substance. I mentioned to him, hey, this tree is about to probably fall down. And I was told, I don't think that's on our property. And I said, well, whether or not it's on our property, it will be. To what cost? You're going to have power lines coming down. There's going to be a car damage, and God forbid somebody was sitting in a car.
But worst of all, we'll be off the air for an hour or two.
Well, we have a generator in the back.
It doesn't make a difference.
If you have an employee death in the parking lot crushed by a tree limb, at least the radio station will still play Tom Petty.
You still got to get those commercials on.
Yeah, but it's kind of like living or working here is kind of like the Super Mario Brothers game. There's a danger around every corner.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of
which
one are you going to dodge?
It's like the Amityville horror of radio stations.
It is.
It's not really a bad group of people to work with. It's just a bad facility to work in. That's it. That's all.
Yeah.
That's it.
But you know what?
But it's haunted and the walls are melting.
But maybe when we start getting money from these Blended Everywhere videos, we can get a ramp that actually a handicapped person could come up.
Steve, you're making me laugh with your little fantasies.
Hey, you know what? That's all I've wanted. You know, I've worked here again 20 years this week.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah. Where's the? I don't want a space. I don't want a parking space. I just want to be able to breathe. Is that too much to ask for?
So for the last 30 years that I've worked here, yes, it's too much to ask for.
Listen, there's no money, there's no parking spaces, but can we at least have a better smelling Glade air freshener to cover up the dead animal and mold smell?
It's 8:23 on Rock 102.
It's back. Rock 102.
Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Liam's got the full forecast for you.
This week on Baxi's Musical Podcast, my guest is Craig Fort from the band Leaf Blower. Their debut album just came out a couple weeks ago called Burn Cruise. They are a band from Nebraska that apparently has been named Yardcore.
All right, Yardcore.
Apparently it's like craft work with lawn equipment. It's a little bit better than that, but really interesting interview. Really cool guy. Available on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, the Rock 102 YouTube channel, rock102.com, and on the app. All brought to you by Metro Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram Chicopee, and Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock.
I think I've come up with a new nickname for this place.
What's that?
Roderick Ireland 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yes. Yeah. I have said before, I really think that the people at the courthouse would be jealous of this building. Why can't we have black mold like them?
Dude, I would park a mile away and walk every day if we just had a decent building. Like, I really would. I would be willing to, if we had a complex somewhere where I'd have to park far away, I would sacrifice that in order to just breathe clean air.
Well, Steve, you'll be holding your breath there, too, because I don't see that happening anytime quickly.
Well, I thought things were moving along.
Yeah, that's
Next thing you tell me, we'll have a new voice guy.
Please.
Oh,
Stop.
God.
Now you're talking kooky talk.
By the way, that new voice guy is like when Days of Our Lives would have a new actor play. The voice of the original Rock 102 guy is now played by some computer.
Yes. Roman Brady will be today played by. It's 8:28 with Rock 102. 8:30 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by Freedom Credit Union. Freedom is yours. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. At around 5 p.m. on Sunday afternoon, the East Longmeadow Fire Department put out a structure fire at a business complex on Denslow Road. Western Mass news crews were on the scene and saw that first responders had the fire contained and was working to completely extinguish the blaze. In a statement from the East Longmeadow Fire Department, when crews arrived, they spotted heavy smoke coming from the rear of the building and the rooftops. The fire was contained to that area and was extinguished without any injuries. The cause remains under investigation. This is where I work out. This is the building.
Oh, is that where it is?
Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen this week. Might be a little bit of water damage in there.
Yeah, I'm sure you could still lift things around, like barrels of water or hoses.
But it would still be healthier than this building.
Oh yeah, no. Even if this building burned to a cinder, we'd still have to come to work to it.
That's right. Springfield's Union Station will now have a bigger law enforcement presence. Yesterday, the city launched the Safe Travels Initiative and Task Force, a partnership between police, the sheriff's office, and Amtrak, along with the property owner and facility management. The city says people can expect a uniform presence of Springfield officers and sheriff's deputies throughout the main concourse, busway, parking lot, and parking garage. Well, that'll solve everything.
That should pretty much do it.
Yeah. These people complaining about crime. It's a bus station. It wouldn't be a bus station if it didn't have a garage.
They can't steal from us all.
It wouldn't be a train station if you didn't have the threat of somebody lurking behind you waiting to pick your pocket or rob you.
Steve, you've been to like Penn Station, Grand Central, South Station, Back Bay. You've been to all of them, right?
I've been to all the open-air drug markets at all of those places.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's just part of the magic of the rail system.
It's the beauty of being in a train station, being able to buy your weed, maybe getting mugged over here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the nostalgia of Union Station.
Many years ago, Amtrak had a wonderful jingle that said something about a train that's magic, traveling near or far. Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? It's absolutely true. There's something about a train that's magic. So close to all the street side drug deals and hypodermic needles. I'll tell you what, it's a great way to travel.
Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful way go across the country.
You will see some of the most beautiful backyards and landfills this great country has to provide.
Yeah, it's kind of like Arlo Guthrie's Nighttime on the City of New Orleans.
Yeah, I did a train trip not too long ago where I played a little game with myself. I tried to count how many tires there were in backyards.
Oh,
on the.
How many did you get to?
467 by the time I got to New York State,
and you lost count.
I did.
It was probably 472.
Probably. I don't know why I missed those two.
Well, because you were distracted by the smokestacks and the oil fields. The fields of the oil tanks.
I think I turned my head when the conductor said, "Ticket, please." I probably missed a couple of tires that way.
Ticket, please. Ticks and was it the old Gary? What's the Far Side cartoon where it's the dog?
Oh yeah, right.
Ticks, please. Ticks, please.
That's great.
Yeah, that was a good. Good thing. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, another bank is going up in Holyoke. Wow.
Why, was there no space in East Longmeadow to put it up?
Apparently, we're all banked out here. We are banked out here in East Longmeadow.
Not so
There is
sure
no
about
more
that.
banks. We have to move the banks to Holyoke. All right?
Okay.
Let's see. Chicopee Public Schools are gearing up for the first day. They're looking for community feedback on a future project. 2 sites are being considered for the location of the Anna E. Barry Elementary School. The district is looking for input either to renovate the current Barry Elementary School at Garrity Grove or relocate to a new building built on the land behind Satella's Early Childhood Center. Parents and residents can weigh in by filling out a survey, which is linked on the City of Chicopee's website.
Okay.
Do we put in our 2 cents?
Yeah, we got an opinion about that?
I don't know. That's kind of we should rename the school. How come there's nobody trying to remember the guy in Agawam?
Oh, yeah.
Sapelli?
Well, he had been the mayor.
Right, but he kind of like, I'm going to name this school after me when nobody's around. And kind of like you wanting to name a parking spot after yourself.
I didn't want one named after myself.
You wanted one that had your name on it to reserved because you felt like slighted by somehow.
This is the story about that. Someone suggested we name the studios after me, and I said absolutely not. Hell no. Maybe a bathroom, and that's
kind of how it goes.
And I said it in a dismissive way, but then the anniversary comes up, they name a bathroom after me.
Oh, well, there you go.
But I didn't want my name on this.
No, but you got upset that your name wasn't on a sign out in a parking spot.
It had nothing to do with the sign. It had everything to do with the appropriation of a space. Like someone's got the nerve to just take it for themselves and put a sign on it. This is for me. Who died and left you, boss of the parking lot?
What's wrong with that?
To me, it's an appropriation, an inappropriate appropriation.
I don't think so.
Well, you're wrong.
I'm not wrong.
Oh, heads will roll in this place.
There is nothing of that importance to me that I would care if somebody else did that.
Well, say what you want. Just like it's very presumptuous that everyone's going to just comply with your parking space. Not yours, but you know who.
Well, I still don't see the big deal of doing that.
Well, Steve, listen.
Because again, if employees want to, if that's the safest place people can feel safe in this complex, then so be it.
Listen,
I'm not going to argue.
I am not going to argue with the fact that it's nonsense to claim a spot that's so close to a tree that's about to fall on their car. It's absolute nonsense. But then so is being so defiant as to say this will be my spot, without a vote, without inquiry, without meetings or subcommittees, none of that. None of that.
We don't need subcommittees.
When it comes to choosing who gets a parking space named after him, I would think there should be some conversation going on.
I think you're taking this a little too far.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
You think so, hey?
Yeah.
I don't know, Steve. I don't know. I think there's a lot of disruptive activities going on here.
No, I think we just need to create drama
I'm not
in order to put out 12 videos a day.
I'm not Steve, I'm not a drama creator. Yeah. I'm not just a drama participator. I go about my business and I leave. But when someone acts up, I'm going to say something.
I actually can't wait to go out. I was trying to make the video early this morning, but my flashlight didn't really give a good glimpse of what was going on out there. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to have to show the tree that's about to fall on top of the power lines and onto a car that parks there, and all the other different things that are wrong around here.
Okay. Hey, listen, do what you got to do.
Well, hey, I'm just trying to look out for everybody.
I know you are.
Yeah.
Hey, you get no argument from me.
But again, there's really no getting upset about it.
Listen, I'm going to go home tonight and I'm going to sleep and have very soundly and not even think about this place. Not even think about who's got the parking space. Not going to think about the bushes that are growing out of the gutters. Not thinking about the black mold that's pouring down the walls. I'm not going to think about any of this stuff.
Listen, when they had the Pooh Falls incident here, they didn't replace that carpet for like another 7 or 8 years. What they did was rip the carpet up and then put fans under it to dry it out as that stuff was flying all around the building.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's this OSHA thing? Is that like a thing, or is that somebody?
We don't talk about OSHA. The first thing about OSHA at Rock 102, we don't talk about OSHA. Right.
It's kind of like the Fight Club.
You are probably more likely to be able to talk about Fight Club than you would about bringing Rock 102 and OSHA into the same sentence.
We don't want to do that.
You don't want to. Don't stir up the pot.
Don't do it. There's enough ingredients in the stew that is being made here.
Occupational safety hazards are for other people. Not for us.
That parking spot should be the birthday of the month.
Yeah, we already got the cake.
What's your favorite parking spot story? 293-1021.
Right.
And then there's a YouTube video that I'm not going to look at right now. I don't see the issue. You seem to have a bigger issue with it than anybody else.
Listen, I just want a work environment where everyone gets along and we're not appropriating anything. We're not stepping on anyone else's shoes. Nobody is emerging and saying, this is mine and you can't have it. There's none of that stuff. I want a drama-free, harmonious workplace in my last 2,200 days of working here before I retire from this godforsaken business.
Listen, there's people that show up here to pick up prizes that don't even park in a parking space. They just park in front of the building because there really is no distinctive lines of where parking spaces actually are.
Right.
We did have this thing paved like 15 years ago, right?
At least 15, yeah.
And they moved the park. The parking used to go the opposite way.
That's correct.
And now it goes this way.
That is right.
But there's still no definitive line. They haven't painted the lines in years.
No.
So they're all gone.
There are faint impressions of what once was a fully painted parking lot. So when I get here, I'm always the first one here. So I pull into a spot that's like, it's basically the same spot I've always parked in. Not because it's my spot, but I'm in the middle. That's it. Well, I'm not stepping on anyone's...
But you're not married to that spot.
No, I
can
go
park anywhere.
Right, of
you
course.
You could park next to the building. Nobody would even blink an eye.
But I choose not to.
But you get upset when somebody puts a sign in front of it saying it belongs to them.
I don't care who parks there, Steve. That's not the issue. The issue is to go ahead and self-impose this upon you. Not you, but the person who did this. And then who I'm talking about.
But it doesn't matter to me. Like, you were telling me to pick and choose my battles.
Yeah.
You should be picking and choosing your battles.
I just don't want egos to be taking over this place.
I think you're a little drunk with power there, just because you've been here the longest.
I'm not drunk with anything.
Yeah, I think you are.
No, I'm not.
I think you got a little bit of an issue going on.
I don't. Anyway, go on.
I'm done. I just...
Was there a news story going on in this thing?
We did. We talked about...
we talked about that. Yeah, you talked about that one building.
Massachusetts is considering allowing public marijuana use with new regulations drafted by the Cannabis Control Commission. The CCC has outlined 3 types of licenses for social consumption and is currently accepting public comments on the proposed regulations. It has the potential to provide spaces like yoga studios or coffee cafes that allow for consumption. How about a cat cafe that's also a cannabis cafe?
As long as no one's trying to light the cats on fire and smoke them.
Well, you never know. If implemented, Massachusetts would become the 11th state to allow social consumption of cannabis. Cannabis business owners have expressed uncertainty about what social consumption could look like under the new regulations, which I haven't even read through.
Don't worry about it, Steve.
Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense. If you're going to legalize it, you might as well make a place where people can consume it.
But they haven't done that for people who are cigarette smokers.
No, but they do it for people who drink. You can get a drink anywhere.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying is you've got cigar bars that you can be licensed for. You'll have cannabis cafes which you can be licensed for. You have bars and restaurants you can be licensed to serve alcohol. But these poor people, the cigarette smokers, who really, at one point they were everywhere. Now they got nowhere to go. Can't smoke anywhere.
Well, that's crazy.
It is. To me, it is almost to the point where we have excluded an entire population of people that just love yellow fingernails, emphysema, low birth weight, birth defects.
Well, didn't you expect all that?
I did, but not this.
You look like an old catcher's mitt.
Look away. I'm idiot.
A woman in St. Petersburg, Florida, got arrested last Monday after she did some day drinking and got a weird head start on Halloween. 48-year-old Marcia Morgan was angry after one of her neighbors parked too close to her yard, so she decided to toilet paper the car.
Oh, boy.
According to the police report, she was drunk and dressed in a hot dog costume.
Why?
I don't know. They say she was leaning against the person's car with a roll of toilet paper in her hand while pulling off strips and putting it all over their vehicle. They described her as intoxicated and uncooperative. It's not clear if she had run-ins with the neighbors before, and police didn't say why she was dressed as a hot dog, but it all happened around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which is usually when the hot dog hijinks start. They did charge her with disorderly conduct and resisting arrest, and she pled no contest. She has to pay a $550 fine or do around 40 hours of community service to work it off.
Does she have to wear the hot dog costume to do the community service?
No, she actually wasn't even wearing the costume. I would have loved to seen her in the hot dog costume in the mug shot, but
that would have been good.
But she's in the county orange. You know, she's in the get up.
There's no pictures of the costume though, is there?
No, I wish there was. See, this is why news really is failing us. I want to see the good piece.
Yeah,
give me the footage. Somebody must have taken footage of this woman in a hot dog suit vandalizing something.
It's the people's right to know.
Isn't it, though?
I'd file the Information Disclosure Act. That's what I would do.
Absolutely. Your Pioneer Valley forecast today is going to be a mix of sun and clouds with a high of 80. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 74. It's 69 giggity in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Oh, yeah.
Hey, it's
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 8:52. And Collective Soul with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Mix of sun and clouds with a high of 81. 69 giggity in downtown Springfield. You know, but you got something else to promote here?
No, I mean, not yet. I mean, we'll get to it.
We'll get to
second.
that at the end of this segment,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yes.
So I was telling you, my vacation was cut short last week because of the hurricane that was coming up the coast, and I wasn't going to take any chances. And the good thing is nothing bad happened, but I was still playing it safe and left where I was, down in the Outer Banks. And on the way back, you know, I've been doing this for years. My kids and I love stopping at places that, we've never been to before.
Sure.
And we decided, hey, let's go to the IKEA in Virginia Beach or Norfolk or wherever it was.
You've never been to an IKEA before?
I think I was like years ago, but I never really remembered it. I think I went with my my sister back 30 years ago, maybe, the one in New Jersey, but hadn't been back.
Wow.
I know a lot of people that shop at an IKEA. You know, I had roommates and stuff over the years that would buy furniture from there and yada, yada, yada. Never really had the full-on experience of going to an IKEA. So we stopped at the IKEA in Virginia Beach, or I guess at Norfolk or whatever city it was.
Right.
And there was hardly anybody there. This was a Wednesday.
In the middle of the day?
4 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So it wasn't very busy. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I've heard about these Swedish meatballs. It's because it's all Swedish furniture in there and everything like that. So we're walking through. I made a little video and, all the different things around. I'm putting the figurines in dirty positions and things like that. Things I would normally do inside of a Michael's.
Or a Hobby Lobby.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we get to the cafeteria where they have this big, giant, food thing. It's closed. There was no Swedish meatballs available. There wasn't even...
no lingonberries?
There wasn't even a Swedish fish to be had.
The hell's going on over there?
I have no idea.
I'll tell you what. I've been to an IKEA many, many times, and after enduring it for hours, the only thing to look forward to is the Swedish meatballs.
Meatball, right.
Otherwise, you're just dragging that big blue, vinyl bag made of tarp material all with you. Oh, forget about it.
I was incredibly disappointed by the fact that why would you not have that? Why would you? All right, I get it. It's not that busy on a Wednesday, but you have this giant cafeteria. There wasn't even a smaller kiosk that had hey, this is grab and go, like you're at a Cumbies on the roller dogs.
Not to get political here, but there is always the possibility that these tariffs have made it very difficult for IKEA to get their meatballs.
Is that what it is?
I'm spitballing
I don't think
here,
that's
Steve.
what it is.
You don't think so?
No, I think.
You don't think these tariffs have got the whole Swedish meatball and lingonberry industry all flummoxed with fear and disruption?
No, because they're still selling the furniture that they have at the store. So if there's tariffs on the Swedish, Actually, I don't even think they're getting the ingredients from Sweden for the Swedish meatball.
I don't know. They're not, Steve. As far as I'm concerned, that is traditional Swedish fare. If you got, if you got like one IKEA, say they're looking for like a couch that's named Erg that can only be put together with an Allen wrench. Maybe they had to transport some inventory from New Haven or Natick or wherever they had to go.
I don't know about that. I think the meatballs are provided by Franco-American. I think that's who makes those meatballs.
You apparently have not had these meatballs. So before you go ahead and judge a Franco-American meatball or a ravioli to a IKEA Swedish meatballs with the lingonberries and the noodles, forget about it. I don't even want to hear your argument.
You know where you can get meat for a great damn meatball?
Why, no, Steve. Why don't you tell me where a guy can get some delicious meat?
Autumn Mist Farm, and you don't have to go to Sweden to get it.
No.
Matter of fact, it's all farm fresh right there in Feeding Hills. They have a farm down the street from their retail location, which is on North Westfield Street in Feeding Hills, and they are they're kind of being hindered by the construction going on.
Sure.
And not a lot of people are driving down that street because you can't drive down that street. I believe the construction is supposed to wrap up very soon.
Good.
But either way, it's another local business that we duly support around here. So,
it's interesting that you bring them up because I don't know if you were aware of this. Today happens to be an Autumn Mist Monday.
What?
I know.
Shut the front door.
It's
Bax.
a surprise to me too. In fact, we have $25 gift cards to Autumn Mist Farms, the farm to table. You can't beat their meat. Autumn Mist Farms is still working through the drive-through the construction, so don't worry about that. $25 gift card. 10th caller 293-1021. Good luck to you.
And you could make a good Swedish meatball with that ground beef. That
Sure, you could.
Over there.
Yeah, delicious.
Burgers, foot-long hot or 18-inch hot dogs.
18-inch.
Yeah,
that'll cause some damage.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So go ahead. Good luck. 10th caller.
It's 8:58 on Rock 102.
Caller